Welcome. Today I will tell you the story of one of the most inspiring movies ever made, A Beautiful Mind. This film is not just about a brilliant mathematician. It is also about love, mental illness, and the power of the human spirit. If you have ever wondered how the mind works or how love can help us overcome the hardest challenges, this story is for you. Let's dive into the world of John Nash, a man who changed the way we think about life and mathematics. A Beautiful Mind was directed by Ron Howard, a famous filmmaker known for movies like Apollo 13 and The Da Vinci Code. The screenplay was written by Akiva Goldsman, who adapted the story from a book about the real-life mathematician John Nash. The movie stars Russell Crowe as John Nash and Jennifer Connelly as his wife Alicia. Both actors gave incredible performances that brought the characters to life. The film also features Paul Bettany, Ed Harris, and Adam Goldberg in important roles. The movie was filmed in various locations, including Princeton University, which plays a big role in the story. The filmmakers worked hard to recreate the 1940s and 1950s, the time when John Nash was a student and later a professor. The costumes, sets, and props were carefully chosen to make everything look authentic. The cinematography by Roger Deakins is beautiful and helps to show the emotions of the characters. Russell Crowe's portrayal of John Nash is one of the most memorable parts of the movie. Nash is a complex character. He is a genius, but also struggles with social interactions. Crowe spent months preparing for the role. He met with people who have schizophrenia to understand how the illness affects them. He also studied Nash's mannerisms and speech patterns to make his performance as realistic as possible. Jennifer Connelly, who plays Alicia, also worked hard to show the strength and love of a woman who stands by her husband during his darkest times. Now let's dive into the story of A Beautiful Mind. The story begins in 1947 when John Nash arrives at Princeton University. He is a shy and awkward man, but he is also very smart. He doesn't like to follow the rules, and he wants to find a truly original idea. He spends his time thinking and writing on windows. One day, while at a bar with his friends, John has a breakthrough. He says, "If we all go for the blonde, we block each other, and no one gets her. But if we go for her friends, they will be flattered, and we all win." This idea becomes the foundation of his famous theory about competition and decision-making, which later earns him the Nobel Prize. After Princeton, John starts working at MIT. He meets Alicia, a student who is kind, beautiful, and intelligent. They fall in love and get married. John seems happy, but he is also very focused on his work. He starts working secretly for the government, helping them solve codes. He believes he is doing important work to stop spies. However, John's life takes a dark turn. He begins to see people who aren't really there. His best friend Charles and Charles's niece Marcy are both creations of his mind. John also meets William Parcher, a mysterious man who says he works for the government. Parcher gives John secret missions, but he is also not real. John's mind is playing tricks on him, and he starts to lose touch with reality. Alicia notices that John is acting strangely. He talks to people who aren't there, and he becomes paranoid. She takes him to a hospital where doctors diagnose him with schizophrenia. This is a mental illness that makes people see and believe things that aren't real. John's life becomes very difficult. He has to take medicine, but the medicine makes him tired and unable to think clearly. Despite these challenges, Alicia doesn't give up on John. She loves him and believes he can get better. John also starts to fight his illness. He learns to ignore the people he sees, even though they seem real to him. He says, "They are my past." Everyone is haunted by their past. This shows his strength and determination. Over time, John returns to his work. He starts teaching at Princeton University again. The university is a special place for him because it is where his journey began. One day, something beautiful happens that shows how much people respect him. John is sitting in the university's common room working on his papers. He is older now, and his hair is gray. He looks calm but focused. Suddenly, a professor walks in and places a pen on the table in front of John. John looks up, surprised. Then another professor comes and does the same. One by one, professors and colleagues place their pens on the table. Each pen is a symbol of respect and admiration for John's work and his fight against mental illness. This tradition is called the pen ceremony. In academic circles, it is a way to show the highest respect to someone. For John, it is a moment of recognition. He is no longer just a man who struggled with schizophrenia. He is a brilliant mathematician who has made a lasting impact on the world. The scene is quiet but powerful. There are no big words or speeches, just the simple act of placing pens on the table. It shows that John has finally found his place in the world. As John grows older, he learns to live with his illness. He knows that the people he sees are not real, but sometimes it is still hard for him to tell what is real and what is not. One day, while walking through the university corridors, he sees a man standing in the distance. The man looks familiar, but John is not sure if he is real or just another hallucination. The man starts walking toward John. He looks friendly and smiles. John feels a little nervous. He doesn't want to make a mistake. He thinks, is this man real or is he just in my mind? The man gets closer and says, hello, Professor Nash. I've been looking for you. I wanted to talk to you about your work. John is unsure. He doesn't want to start a conversation with someone who might not be real. Just then he sees a young student walking by. John gently stops her and asks, excuse me, do you see that man over there? He points to the man in the corridor. The student looks and nods. Yes, I see him, she says. John smiles slightly and thanks the student. Now he knows the man is real. He turns back to the man and says, I'm sorry, I just had to make sure. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell. The man smiles and says, I understand, Professor. Your work is very important to me. This small moment is very important for John. It shows that he has learned to control his illness. He no longer trusts everything he sees, but he also doesn't let his fears control him. Instead, he finds a way to check what is real and what is not. This scene is a quiet but powerful reminder of John's strength and determination. Over time, John's work gains recognition, and he is awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics for his groundbreaking theories. The day of the Nobel ceremony is a special one. John prepares with Alicia and their son, who is now a young boy. They dress in their finest clothes and travel to Stockholm, Sweden, where the ceremony is held. At the ceremony, John gives a heartfelt speech. He thanks Alicia for her love and support, saying, I've always believed in numbers, but it is only in the equations of love that any logic can be found. His words touch everyone in the room, and Alicia smiles with pride. After the ceremony, John and Alicia return to their hotel. As they walk through the streets, John sees Charles, Marcy, and Parcher standing in the distance. They smile at him, but John does not approach them. He has learned to live with his illness, and he knows they are not real. He looks at Alicia and their son, knowing that his real life is with them. The movie ends with John continuing his work at Princeton. He still sees the people from his past, but he no longer lets them control his life. He has found peace and happiness with Alicia and their son. His story is a reminder that even in the face of great challenges, love and hope can help us overcome anything. The music of A Beautiful Mind is another important part of the film. The soundtrack was composed by James Horner, who is known for his emotional and powerful music. The main theme, A Kaleidoscope of Mathematics, is both haunting and beautiful. It captures the genius and struggles of John Nash. The music helps to make the movie even more touching and memorable. The movie explores many themes such as love, mental illness, and the power of the human mind. It shows that even in the darkest times there is hope. It also teaches us that love and support can help us overcome the hardest challenges. The film makes us think about what it means to be human and how our minds can both help and hurt us. When A Beautiful Mind was released in 2001, it was a big success. It earned over $300 million worldwide and won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Supporting Actress for Jennifer Connelly. Critics praised the movie for its powerful story and amazing performances. Many people said it was one of the best movies of the year. The movie has had a lasting impact on cinema and culture. It is often included in lists of the greatest films ever made. It has also helped to raise awareness about mental illness and reduce the stigma around it. Many people who watch the movie feel inspired by John Nash's story and his determination to overcome his struggles. In the end, A Beautiful Mind is more than just a movie. It is a story that teaches us about the power of love, the importance of hope, and the strength of the human spirit. As John Nash says, "I've always believed in numbers, but it is only in the equations of love that any logic can be found." This message continues to inspire people all over the world. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Your support helps us create more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.